If you've ever told yourself, once I get the tech figured out, then I'll start, and weeks or months later, and you're still setting things up instead of coaching, then this episode will be a relief. If you've ever told yourself, once I get the tech all figured out, then I'll begin, and now suddenly it's weeks later and you're still setting things up instead of coaching, then this episode will be a relief. Hey, it's Candy Motzek with She Coaches Coaches, and this is the Foundation Series. It's a series built around one core idea: clarity before clients. Because when you get clear on the right things in the right order, everything else gets easier. These episodes are for thoughtful, capable coaches who want a simple, grounded path to building a coaching business that works without the overwhelm, without burning out, and without guessing about what to do next. If you've ever felt stuck or quietly overwhelmed because of the tech, then this episode is for you. I can't tell you how many coaches I've worked with who felt ready to coach, but they got stalled out because they thought they needed to get the tech right before they could begin. So they spent hours comparing platforms. They signed up for free trials. They watched the tutorials. They asked questions in Facebook groups. And meanwhile, no clients. So let me start with the truth. And it's probably going to bring you some relief. Here it is. Technology does not create clients. Conversations do. I want you to pause and take a moment here. Grab your journal and write this down before you keep going. Technology does not create clients. Conversations do. Tech is not your business. Tech is simply the bridge that makes it easier for someone to say yes once the conversation is already happening. Today, we're going to simplify this completely. And by the end of the episode, you'll know exactly what tech you need to get started, what you can safely ignore for now, and how to set yourself up so the tech supports your business instead of slowing it down. If you want to follow along, grab your journal and make some notes. If you want to follow along, sign up for the free Foundations course. The link is in the episode notes, and there is a workbook there. You can follow along in the workbook. And if at any point you want to talk through your specific situation, map out your next steps, you can book a call, and I'll put that link in the episode notes too. All right, let's dive in. Here's the big idea I want you to hold on to for this episode. You only need 3 tools to start your coaching business. Not 10, not a full system, not a big all-in-one platform, just 3. One to meet with clients, one to schedule appointments, and one to get paid. That's it. If you've got those 3 things in place, you are officially open for business. Let's walk through each one. First, a way to meet with clients. This one is simple. Choose the easiest one for you. There are some great options. They all work. Choose one, pick any one, make it yours. They are Zoom or Google Meet or Microsoft Teams. You don't need a paid account yet, not at the beginning. Of course, you can have a paid account in the future or now if you choose, but you don't really need a bunch of fancy features right now. You just need a reliable way to show up, to see your client, and to coach them. So choose one platform for now and stick with it. Consistency beats optimization every single time. Second, a way to schedule appointments. This is the piece that removes friction. Because when somebody says, yeah, I'd love to talk to you, the next question is always when. You want that answer to be easy. So sign up for a scheduling tool, something like Calendly or Acuity. They work beautifully. You could even use a simple Google Calendar booking link. The goal here is not elegance. The goal is ease. Reduce that friction. You want someone to be able to pick a time without a bunch of back and forth emails. Less friction, less hurdles means more conversations and more follow through. Third, you need a way to get paid. Many coaches hesitate here, not because of tech, but because of the mindset. They're worried about doing it the right way. I would suggest that you choose a couple of easy ways. They can be things like PayPal or Stripe, or you can choose Venmo or Wise. You can even do e-transfers or bank transfers, depending on where you live. Again, keep it simple. You are relatively new and you're signing one client at a time. So you don't need a fancy shopping cart. You don't need checkout pages. You don't need a complicated payment plan just yet. What you do need is a clear, professional way for someone to pay you when they say yes. Now, let me tell you what you don't need at this stage. You do not need a CRM or a funnel. You don't need email automation or a membership platform or a learning portal. You sure don't need a complicated website. You don't need a $5,000 tech stack or a fancy new logo design. All of that can come later if you want it. And once you have clients, once you know what works, once you know how you like to work with people, once there's a real solid business reason to upgrade. Right now, complexity is only going to slow you down. Here's why tech becomes such a trap for coaches. Tech feels productive. It feels responsible. It feels like preparation, but often it's another form of busy work. Remember, we talked about busy work in the previous episode. We learned that busy work does not sign clients. Business building work does. So the faster you get this tech thing handled, the closer you are to signing all the clients you want to work with. It's going to give you a feeling of progress without that vulnerability of being visible. And I say this with compassion. Most coaches don't actually feel stuck because of the tech. They probably feel stuck because they're afraid to reach out to people. They're afraid to make offers. They're afraid to be seen. And so, truthfully, I know that you want to get this right. And it's easy for us to get stuck on the tech because it feels safer. So, here's a new perspective that I would love you to consider. You're not avoiding tech problems, you may be avoiding conversations. And once you see that, everything shifts. Because having a conversation doesn't mean that you need a perfect system. A conversation requires presence. And presence means you want to be there as a human with that person that you're talking to. That's it. And you can do this. You do this already every day. You're completely capable of showing up fully present for that person in front of you. So let's make this tech thing practical. I want you to open your journal or a new note on your phone, and here's your simple action. Write down the tool you will use to meet with clients, the tool you're going to use to schedule calls, and the tool you'll use to get paid. Then commit to setting them up this week. It doesn't have to be perfect. It doesn't have to be beautiful. It just needs to be functional. That's it. Once those three things are in place, something important happens internally. You stop telling yourself you're not ready and you start operating as someone who is open for business. Yay! That identity shift really matters. Now, let me address one more thing that I hear all the time from my clients. But, Candy, what if I choose the wrong tool? All right, let me tell you, you won't. Those tools are all solid, they're well proven. And even if you do choose the tool that doesn't last forever, it doesn't matter. Every successful coach that you admire has changed their tech multiple times. They didn't get it right the first time, they got it done. For me, when I was starting out in my business, I started out with a WordPress site. And then I realized that it wasn't what I needed because I only needed a simple website. And so I moved to a different platform. I had a website in one platform, I moved to a different platform. I also started out with a different payment processor, and then I realized for me, it was best to use Stripe and PayPal as my payment processors because I deal with an international audience. So I started one way, I realized I could change, and then I made the change. So just like me, just like other successful coaches, we didn't get it right the first time, but we got it done. Remember, this is not a permanent decision. You are making a starter decision for your early stage business. These decisions are meant to be simple and flexible, and you can allow them to be good enough for now. What matters is that your tech supports the conversations that you're having instead of becoming a barrier to them. So now let's just step away and zoom out for a moment. At this stage in your business, when you're not fully booked with clients, your job is not to build infrastructure. Your job is to talk to people, is to coach people, to learn what your dream clients actually want and need, and to build your own confidence through real experience. Your tech should support that. It's not going to replace it. It's going to support you. So if you have been telling yourself, once I get the tech sorted out, then I'll start reaching out to people, I want you to flip that sentence on its head. Start reaching out to those real people and then make the tech just good enough to support what you need. This is how you create momentum. And I know you can do it. So let's recap. You only need three tools to start your coaching business. One is to meet with people, one is to schedule calls, one is to get paid. Anything beyond that is optional and it can wait. Pause and take a moment here. Go grab your calendar and write this down before you keep listening, before this episode is over. Your action is simple. Make an appointment with yourself to choose your tools, to set them up this week, and then move your attention back to conversations. If you want that full step-by-step course and the workbook, you can get it. I've put the link in the episode notes. It's ready for you there. And if you'd like to talk with me, talk through your personal situation, map out a clear plan forward, you can book a call with me. I've put that link in the show notes for you too. And now, in the next episode, we're tackling one of the biggest sources of overthinking for new coaches: niche drama. Yeah. I'll show you how to choose a problem that people want help with without having. I'll show you how to choose a niche, how to choose a problem that people want your help with, and I'll show you how to choose a problem that people want help with without waiting for that perfect niche, without second guessing yourself into paralysis. I am cheering you on. When you build the foundation once, everything else is going to be easier. I'm looking forward to seeing you in the next episode.